B is equal to -3 and C is equal to 4, and we use an arrow. This would imply that, and that is what that means, this would imply that AB minus BC would be equal to, and I want to write it on the each here that you can see right away. Our A is equal to 2, so where I had A here, I'm going to be writing 2, and this time I'm going to be putting the multiplication times. B is equal to -3, so I'm writing -3 where I have my B. Put back the minus sign, okay? Put back the value of B, put it in a bracket if you want to, and it's -3 because that is what they told me that B was equal to. So not because you see a minus sign in front of the B that you're going to leave off the minus sign for the 3, okay? The value of that, the name of the value for B is -3. And you cannot throw away the negative. It has nothing to do with this sign here. This may have been a stop sign or a junction. So you don't say because there's a negative sign here that you'd throw away the negative sign that was in front of the 3. The name of this number is -3, okay? And then it would be times, and C, they told us, was equal to 4. All right? So that is what we write. After that, it's down to an arithmetical problem. That is all we are doing. So then we would be getting, and again we start using our rules, and we start with our signs. So we know that 2 on its own means +2. So we're going to be saying a positive times a negative when we are multiplying would always give us a negative. Okay, so for multiplication, it's not the size of the number, it's the signs. Anytime we are multiplying, if it's a positive and a negative, the answer is always going to turn out to be negative. All right, if it's 2 negatives, we are going to get a positive. All right, so here we go. A positive times a negative will give us our negative. And then we are looking here. Again, what did I say we are dealing with? And then afterward, we can say 2 times 3 would give us 6. So if we're just learning, we don't have to start to think that we're any big expert as yet. We're taking it slowly, making certain you look and you tell yourself, there are 2 things I must know here. I'm doing the multiplication. Sign is important. So I'm going to be starting and saying positive times a negative, multiplying, gives us negative. Then I can go back and say 2 times 3, 6, and that is why we know we have 6 here. We jump over here and we see in front of a bracket, we have a negative, and inside there's also a negative. Negative in front of a bracket actually means it is -1. But as a mathematician, we don't write -1, all right? It is understood. So you have your negative here because we're taking off and we're saying a negative times a negative here would have given me a positive, okay? That is where a positive sign would come from. And then we can say 3 times 4 would give you 12, okay? When we look at this time, it is now addition. And in terms of dealing with addition, we are going to ask which one is bigger and by how many. So we look and we see we have +12, -6. So the positive number is bigger, and 12 minus 6 we can say that is equal to 6. And that is why our answer is equal to 6. Practicing these with just a few little more examples, you would see how fast you're running, that you wouldn't even have to be doing this big separation that I am doing, okay? That is all it takes to get this particular solution. So in a few minutes, you just be looking and saying a positive times this would give you -6, and this would give me a +12, and here. Learning something from the beginning means you're going to take your time, you're going to crawl before you get up and run, okay? You're going to crawl before you get up and run. because before you can run, you're going to fall down a few times, and then you will be on your road. Because for mathematics, you have to get the English connotation of it, translate it into symbolic language for mathematics, and then apply it, and then understand what somebody's saying in terms of their communicative skills to you. Does not mean that you cannot understand and that you cannot do mathematics and that you're not good at it. All right, it just means that you're going to be asking, please, could you explain that again for me, because I did not get what you're saying. Just be as polite as that, and that is all that it will require. Okay, so this is the first one that we did in terms of our solution. Then we're going to go on to solution 2. Okay, solution 2, where we have b, open bracket, a minus c, and it's all squared. Now, this time, again, we will be stated, because do not forget that CXC cannot see you. They cannot see how intelligent you look. They don't know who you are. The only thing they can take from is how you speak to them on your paper. So, again, we are stating, since A is equal to 2, B is equal to negative 3, and C is equal to 4, this would imply that B, open bracket, A minus C squared, and I'm writing it on the head because I want you to see, is equal to, instead of B, I'm going to replace it by negative 3. Negative 3. Okay? And then A would be equal to 2, and it's minus C is equal to 4. We put back all squared. So that now is equal to our negative 3. We remember our BOMDAS, so we are working our brackets first. And we're looking and seeing 2 minus 4 would leave us with a negative 2, and it's all squared. And it's now equal to negative 3. Notice we are focusing on the bracket, because that is what our BOMDAS says. Work the bracket first. What does negative 2 all squared means? It means negative 2 times negative 2. All right? So then again, it's equal to negative 3. A negative times a negative would give us positive, and 2 2's would give us 4. So we have positive 4. And then after that, it's a negative times a positive, which would give you a negative, and 3 4's would give us 12. And that is the answer for our substitution that CXC has been asking about. There is nothing difficult about that, all right? So somebody wants to tell you all the time that mathematics is difficult. No. All you need to do is to get the concept, get the idea, and you can tell the world that this is something that even at age 91, you can master. We will be back. See you again next time.
Join us next time for another in the series, Mastering Mathematics, a production of the Education Broadcasting Unit in the Ministry of Education and ABS TV.